Hi, my name is Stewart Townsend. I work for Sun Microsystems. I run Sun Startup Essentials for EMEA, and this is Sun's programme to help startups across EMEA and across the globe by supporting them with discounted hardware and software, but also with PR, engineering, technical support, you name it, and we can help you. So I'm here today just to talk to you about my 5 top tips for choosing your hardware, infrastructure, architecture for your startup and getting your platform up and running and thinking about the future. So the first one I'll come to, tip number 1, is price. So Sun's got an aspect in the market that we're expensive, but there are other options out there, and my take on this aspect in life is you pay for what you get. And there's no such thing as a great deal as such. What Sun does with its platform, we build an engineering platform. What we tend to say with our enterprise customers and what we tend to try and say to our smaller businesses as well is price counts. You always pay for what you get. So when you think about purchasing something, think about the long-term value of that product and what you're purchasing. You may save a discount now, but you could be paying for that in the future. So look at the overall value of what you're actually buying from an infrastructure platform. So just think of the server, the storage, the disk, the memory, etc. But think about the overall long-term price. It's really key. In the marketplace we're in, there's lots of deals. You know, I can do a deal, other vendors can do a deal, but it's about what's the long-term value of that product and the partner that you're working with. Top tip number 2, my second tip of the day, number 2, is continuity. If you're purchasing a lot of product over time, you'll think about your architecture and you're thinking about, my God, we're going to build financial services platforms, startup, or we're going to build a CRM system, we're going to need 25 servers and we're going to need lots of storage. It's really key to think about the same continuity of products, so keeping to the same spec and model, the same build, etc. What tends to go wrong is when infrastructure starts to break and the platform has problems and you're not the same specification or platform, etc. You've got different vendors in there. It starts to become a bit of a bum fight of whose problem is it and who owns that problem and how do we solve it. And if your business is a web application, you're a 24/7 shop, when things start to go wrong, it starts to exaggerate by the fact that you haven't got the staff to support it. So continuity is a second top tip of the day. Keeping the same either vendor, the same platform, the same architecture, so Intel or AMD chip, so you're thinking about the same storage provider, etc. Because otherwise you start to run into that firefight of what happens when it all breaks. And at some stage it's been built by humans, it will break. So third tip of the day, tip number 3, is service. So you've bought your platform, you've deployed your architecture, you've got your company's up and running, it's doing really well, you've got a massive customer base, you've gone over that big spike, you're generating revenue, and something happens and a machine breaks and you're thinking about how do we get that fixed. And you've got a contract with a company to deliver that service. And what's that contract actually mean? What's the SLA? So will they be there in 4 hours? Will they be there in 4 days? Does that server have to go back to the factory where it's made? Does that storage unit have to go back if a disk fails? You need to really think about that. It's really crucial, because if you've got a company and say you've got 2 machines up and running or 2 storage units and one fails and that one has to go back to the factory for 7 days and that leaves you with 1 unit, then you have no redundancy built into your company. And if that unit goes down and you're a 24/7 web application, your business goes down, your revenue goes down, and also your loyalty of your customers go down. As we're always seeing in this web environment, it's very fallible and very fickle. Down for an hour, that's bad. Down for 7 days, you're out of business. So it's really crucial that you start to think around these first 3 anyway, at least price, continuity and service, because you think about a platform for the future and architecture, and about also your customers. Your customers are key. And you have to think about how to protect that customer base, because once you build it up, it's really easy to lose, and it's it's now impossible to get them back again once you've lost them. Then going back to the really boring stuff now, top tip number 4, power, costs, scaling of your company. What are you going to do over time? How are you going to think about your costs and efficiency in the company? When you're building your architecture and you're thinking about your platform for your web application, how it's going to grow over the years, you need to think about what's the power consumption that architecture is going to use, because that's a direct impact on your monthly costs. If you're co-locating it, you'll be charged per kilowatt. The more kilowatts you use, the more customers you get. You're hopefully getting more revenue to cover those costs as well. And you also need to think about the power aspects of the box, but also the scaling. So are you thinking about, I need 1 rack unit high machine, I need 2 rack unit high, I need a couple of nodes of storage, can I upgrade them in the future? Can I put less memory power CPUs in the future? Can I put less memory power memory in them in the future and hard disks? Because if you can, every cost saving you make is more margin on your bottom line, more margin for your customer. So it's really crucial, again from the outset, once you've made these decisions and you're on that footpath down the line, it's really difficult to back out of building that architecture and start to reduce these costs without actually ripping things out again and starting from scratch, which if you've got investment, I don't think investors will be happy in reinvesting in architecture where they see as being already done and dusted. So they're the 4 key ones from the start. The 5th one is the one that I see the most crucial, but some people may not, and companies may not as well, is choose your partner wisely. If you're working with a vendor that can provide all your infrastructure solutions, we call it one throat to choke, you may decide to spread your risk and work with varying partners. But what you need to really think about is what value can they add to you as a company? Are they interested in just a sell-to model to you? Do they just want to sell hardware, software, services and walk away? Or are they interested in actually being a true partner to you and being a global partner and helping support you and help generate some business for you, interested in your business, want to be part of your business, actually want to drive you forward as well. The difference there is if they're interested in your business, they're going to be more reactive if something happens and breaks or doesn't work or there's a problem or an issue. If they're just a sell-to partner, well, they're just what we classify as a walk-away type partner. Then they're not really going to help and support you because you can get a different person to deal with every time you call them, etc. So thinking about, again, your long-term business benefits and gains is about working with a true partner who can help you grow on a global scale, but also interested in your business, interested in when you've got a problem and issue, and just doesn't walk away from it. So they're my top 5 tips for growing your web application as a startup or an SME. And my name's Stewart Townsend, and thanks for your time.